This Japanese submarine had been hiding at the bottom of the sea for 3 days and nights. The Japanese soldiers were already suffering from the unbearable heat, and the oxygen inside the submarine was about to run out. Fresh water was also nearly depleted. It wouldn't be long before these Japanese soldiers were trapped and doomed at the bottom of the sea, just because a US destroyer on the surface had already prepared countless depth charges for them. As soon as the Japanese submarine started its engine, it would face relentless bombardment. At this critical moment, a submariner volunteered to pilot a Kaiten torpedo to sink the US destroyer. Just then the Japanese captain suddenly realized that there was still high-pressure oxygen inside the Kaiten torpedo. He immediately called for the engineers and took the risk of opening the submarine's oxygen valves. Oxygen instantly filled the entire submarine. The Japanese soldiers immediately began to breathe greedily. The mind also began racing at this moment. Before long they came up with a bold strategy to take the initiative and sink the US destroyer. From the previous 2 encounters, the captain noticed that after the US destroyer dropped bombs, it would habitually turn left, circling back with a radius of 300 meters. So the submarine only needed to evade one wave of bombing, then quickly turn right, surface to the height for launching torpedoes, and it could directly sink the destroyer. After finalizing the strategy, the Japanese submarine immediately started its engine, deliberately exposing its position to the US forces. After the destroyer detected the submarine, it immediately dropped depth charges and then turned left. Fortunately, the Japanese submarine successfully evaded the depth charges. Upon noticing the destroyer beginning to turn left, the submarine immediately accelerated and moved to the right. When the destroyer's side was exposed within the submarine's attack range, the captain immediately ordered the launch of torpedoes. At the same time, the destroyer's sonar detected incoming torpedoes. Only then did the US captain realize the danger, quickly ordering the destroyer to turn right and fire a depth charge, successfully intercepting the torpedoes. This attack completely enraged the US captain. He gave the order for the destroyer to ram the submarine directly. Seeing this, the Japanese submarine immediately attempted an emergency dive, but in the end, it couldn't escape. The destroyer crashed into the top of the submarine. The Japanese submarine instantly lost balance. The violent collision damaged its horizontal rudder, causing it to sink uncontrollably toward the ocean floor. With a loud crash, the Japanese submarine slammed into the seabed. The immense water pressure caused water to start flooding into the submarine. The soldiers' breathing became rapid and desperate. At that moment, the captain suddenly thought of an idea.